Geeks, nerds, gamers, and trolls, this is your mmomobomb.com first look at Nightingale, an open-world survival crafting game from Inflexion Games. Per the description on Steam, set out on a journey of survival and adventure into the mysterious and dangerous Fey realms of Nightingale. Become an intrepid realm walker and venture forth alone or with friends as you explore, craft, build, and fight across a visually stunning gas lamp fantasy world. Now, well, to say the gas lamp fantasy world is what initially drew me to Nightingale. It was an interesting concept for me. I really enjoyed the setting of the game. You've got the gas lamp, you've got the fantasy, you've got the Fey realms that you're adventuring across. So you've got magic, you've got a little bit of gas lamp technology, and you're set in the Victorian age. So you're dressed all dapper. So the setting itself is really what appealed to me initially when I first saw the game. And the survival crafting isn't bad. It's your typical fare of gather stuff, build stuff, craft stuff to create better stuff and go out adventuring in the world. But there's more to this game than just that. There's also dungeons and puzzles and points of interest out in the world that you can explore to get more valuable resources and lots of things to do. So we'll dive into some of that here momentarily. Now, you can invite your friends to play with you. It is always online right now. I know for some folks that that's not going to be a good thing for you, but they are working on and prioritizing an offline mode. So if you're just an offline Andy, then they've got a mode coming for you. So for now, you'll have to play it online and deal with server problems, anything like that might arise. So far, I haven't had any connection issues. I have run into some bugs in the game that we'll talk about here shortly. But no connection issues or anything like that so far, so I've been lucky with no server issues. And the game is run fantastic, and it looks gorgeous. I chose this initial footage just because it shows off the sunrise in the background against the mountains and stuff. And we'll get to something more interesting than just gathering stuff here momentarily. We're going to dive into this first dungeon that we get into here in Nightingale. So this is the first dungeon you get into in Nightingale. You do have to follow a series of quests that give you a certain gear score in order to be able to get in here. Even with that gear score, I did die in here one time, and this room particularly, there's a lot of enemies in here. As you can see, as I'm swinging my axe, I do have a stamina bar with each swing. Whether I make contact or not, it consumes stamina, so I have to be careful with wildly swinging too much. As you can see, I'm doing a little too much there and losing stamina. There is sort of a mini boss in this room with all these mobs, and as you can see, I'm trying to avoid his big sweeping attack there because it does a ton of damage. So I'm moving around the room trying to take out enemies and watching my stamina and making sure that I have enough for attack when I get close to somebody. Like I said, I did die in here once, so it was a challenging dungeon. I did have some healing salve. As you can see, I'm using it now and trying to heal up a little bit because I'm taking too many hits from this guy. I figured out I could block here about halfway through this fight right there. I figured out I could block with the axe, which helped a lot. So you can block by hitting the right mouse button when you're using a two-handed weapon. So that was super useful. Like I said, coming into Nightingale, I was super hyped. The setting really did it for me, and the sort of the magic gas lamp, like I said earlier, it really attracted me. So I'm super hyped coming into this game, and I have to say I've really enjoyed all my time in it so far. Like I said, this dungeon was challenging. The crafting is engaging enough to keep you going. There are some you'll see in the top right corner of the screen some sort of quest objectives to kind of direct you a little bit and get you going out in the world. The overall objective is to visit different realms using realm cards and to get back to the city of Nightingale. The Fey portal network has gone down, so you're having to manually get these realm cards, which I'll get one for completing this dungeon, I believe. So that's one of the objectives you have to do in order to get realm cards. You can also purchase some realm cards from the vendor outside. He buys things for the cost of essence, or he sells things for the cost of essence. And you can get essence by breaking things down. Sometimes when you kill or chop down a tree or something like that, it'll drop essence on the ground. But your primary source of it is going to be breaking down things you don't need to get the majority of essence that you're going to use to buy upgraded crafting benches, realm cards, lots of useful things at the essence trader. And here is the final boss room for this dungeon. This was a really tough fight that took quite a while for me to finish. I didn't do tons of damage to the guy, but he did tons of damage to me, which makes for a really tough fight. So you're going to see me hiding behind pillars a lot and taking my swings whenever I can. He does have one small mechanic where he does like a dash, where he does intense damage to you. It does give a little warning. His little staff or whatever he's carrying starts to glow red a little bit right before he does it. So I'm going to be trying to avoiding that and not taking damage while getting in as many licks as I can while also watching my stamina. So let's cut towards the end of the boss fight a little bit to where I take him down and get my realm card. This fight did take about 10 minutes. Like I said, it was a pretty lengthy fight. It was difficult. As you can see, my health is really low, so it's his. It was really close. I did use all of my healing salves that I had on me, so yeah, I used quite a few of them to stay alive during this. You do get a little bit of health regen, so sometimes I would have to hide and very slowly let my health build back up. But at the end of the day, we accomplished it without dying on this guy. The room before got me, but this guy didn't get me. He just came really close sometimes. And then we get our reward of our realm card. And after we collect our realm card here, we're going to have to talk to Puck again. He is the guide of this world. He's going to lead you around and kind of give you your objectives to do and drop a lot of lore on you and let you know kind of what's going on in the world. He's very well voice acted, well written. I really enjoy interacting with him. There's a little bit of, is he really looking out for your best interest or not? Because he talks a lot about how the Fae don't trust humans and things like that. And he's sort of the last Fae that interacts with humanity. So it's a little bit of, is he really trying to help you? Is he not? But overall, I think he is. I think he's trying to get us back to Nightingale, if for no other reason, just to get us out of the Fae realms.
Our partnership blooms with the seal of a most fruitful requital. Assurances in hand. Press onward. Mark inky images upon paper, and so direct the flow of the interrealmic void.
So heading back to our house, you can see the little home that I've built so far. There is a fairly extensive building system, and you can build some pretty fancy looking houses, some updated, newer looking stuff, not just shacks and cabins. This is just what I have so far. As always, this is just a first look, not a expert guide or an in-depth review. So we're looking at the first, several hours of gameplay here, and this is what I've got so far. So we're gonna throw down some of the new benches I bought from the Essence Trader after completing that dungeon. I got some new workbenches where I can smelt ingots and cut wood into lumber and things like that, and a sewing table so I can make some better clothes. So upgrading everything, like I said, is super important, and we're just going to show some footage while I talk for a minute about crafting some things and showing that off just a little bit. But yeah, you're going to be doing a lot of crafting. You're going to be building your house, your home. You can build several shelters across the world. You're going to be improving the items that you're carrying, your weapons, your gathering tools, your clothing, all of that you would expect in a survival crafting game. It's all here. The menus are fairly intuitive. Sometimes I'm not sure which category what I'm looking for is in, but if you pull up something like, if you're looking at your crafting menu and you see like a new shirt, it'll show you the benches that you need to create that. So that is super helpful. You don't just have to guess which bench makes which item. It'll show you in the recipe which benches you need, what items you need, everything you need to craft that material. So that's super useful, and I really enjoy that aspect of it. But yeah, you're definitely going to want to not do what I did. I would probably build my first home closer to the Essence Trader. That way you've got easier access to the vendor. There is a huge mountain range between me and the Essence vendor, and I have to go around the long way and kind of swim a little bit to get over to the island where the Essence vendor is at. But that was just an early mistake that I would correct on another run through at some point. But I may go ahead and build another house over there later on and just be closer to it. The house that I built is more in the middle of the entire realm that I'm currently in, and it's not where it needs to be. It looked like a good spot whenever I first started, but really, I would have been better off building close to the Essence Trader and those NPCs and letting my home be there, because you can fast travel back to your home. The first thing, one of the first quests you get is to build a home cairn that you can travel back to, and you can travel back to that from anywhere on the map. You just open your map and hit return to your respite, and you'll instantly be ported back home. So that's super convenient. You can go out exploring and then just get back home whenever you're done, whenever you're ready to go back to crafting and you've got all the materials that you need. So a lot of good systems in place that I really enjoy in this game. It's really intuitive. It really helps you with quality of life stuff and does a good job of respecting your time when you're playing. Now, Nightingale is in early access, and with that being said, there are some bugs to be found. For one, I got stuck in the tutorial at one point. The final portal to get you into your starting realm, it would not open. You had to defeat some enemies and wait for the portal to open, and the portal just never opened, unfortunately. So I had to go back, and the only fix for it right now, as far as the time of this recording, is to make another character and hope that it doesn't happen again. It took me about 4 tries to get that portal to open, so that was unfortunate. That's the biggest bug I've run into. Some things here and there, some things get a little janky here and there, a little buggy, but nothing that's game breaking other than the tutorial mission portal not opening. So it's in fairly good condition. That can be a little annoying. I was a little frustrated when that portal wouldn't open, and it took me 3 or 4 tries to get it. But eventually I did get through, and I'm glad I did, because I'm really enjoying my time in the game. And I will have to say that everything that I expected of this game so far has been there. All of my hype and everything that I had going into this game, because I was really looking forward to this, has lived up to my expectations. It is your typical survival crafting game. All right, at its core, that is what it is. So if you enjoy that, you're going to enjoy this. If you don't enjoy that, then this probably isn't the game for you. But at the end of the day, there are lots of other things like the dungeons you can get into. There's already another dungeon that I've discovered that I can't get into yet. I've got to get my gear back up higher once again. But to go out and, gather resources that you need to do that. And I love gathering in MMOs. I love gathering in games. So, this really does it for me, these survival crafting games, especially when it's a great setting, one that I enjoy, and looks as good, as gorgeous as this game does. I'm going to have to give it a 2 thumbs up for sure. I'm absolutely in love with Nightingale and have enjoyed every minute that I've spent in it so far. Now, real quick before we go, I did want to show off a little bit of character creation. You can play in third person. All my footage is in first person because the first person doesn't bother me. I'm really susceptible to motion sickness, and the first person doesn't make me sick at all. So if it doesn't bother me, it probably won't bother you, because I'm very susceptible to that kind of thing. But you can play in third person, so you can see your character at all times if you want to. So character creation can be more important than it would be if it was just in first person. So there's quite a few features. You can add an ancestry and a backstory and set your difficulty setting, which is kind of your starting gear is how the difficulty setting works. So lots of character creation to go into and look at. As you can see, lots of weird hair colors, hairstyles, lots of faces, facial hair, very, very Victorian era facial hair. My main guy has a big twirly mustache, so I really enjoy that. So that's just a look at character creation. So overall, Nightingale is a thoroughly enjoyable game, one that's staying on my computer. I've really, really liked my time in the game so far, and I'm really looking forward to, delving deeper into it, getting into some of the more advanced realms and adventuring around and getting to Nightingale City, where there's supposed to be more dungeons and things to do. So, lots of stuff to keep you busy, keep you occupied, and keep you going. There are several different realms you can play. Everything that I've been doing so far has been in the forest realm. There's a swamp realm and a desert realm and who knows what else. And every time you open a portal, you can use your cards to activate those portals and influence what the world looks like, what kind of a biome it is, and what type of creatures are in it. So you've got 2 different cards every time you activate a portal, and that determines what realm you're going to walk into. But yeah, overall, big recommendation from me. And did I mention the best part? It's only $30 on Steam for early access. It is still in early access, but you can pick it up for only $30. I highly recommend you do so if you're at all interested in this title. I think it's worth it. It's competing with my main 2 MMOs for my time right now, so I'm cycling between 3 games at the moment: Guild Wars 2, Lord of the Rings Online, and Nightingale. So my playtime plate is full, so I recommend, if you're interested, to check it out. Until next time, I've been the New Fridge, Troy Blackburn. You can subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We certainly appreciate it. And head over to mmorpg.com for all the latest news and information you need to know about online multiplayer games. Until next time, this first look is done. I am out.